Dear children, guess what? Today we are going to learn an art. Yes, an art of letter writing. I know that it's very boring for you all, and you face various problems while writing a letter. Do not worry. Today we are going to deal with different types of problems you face while writing letter writing. And definitely we are going to sort out those problems which you face while writing letters. So let's begin. Yeah, and then you all know that letter writing is becoming obsolete. Obsolete? Yes. Nobody wants to write letter nowadays, isn't it? It's very hard to find letters. And it's very difficult too for students, especially to write letters. No issues. We are going to deal with everything or all the points in this video. Now, you all may say that, ma'am, in such an advanced era, why we need to learn the skill? We have other ways out. Yes, definitely. But still, when we visit banks or any other such kind of places or organization, we are asked to write and submit an application or a letter for the issues concerning us. So, my question is, what will you do then? Where would you go then? Okay, so it's high time that you must polish your skill, and that's the reason we are going to learn the skill of writing letter, an art of presenting yourself. So letter is a written or printed communication directed to a person or organization. Now, letters are of two types, formal letters and informal letters. Fine. So let's begin with our first video on this writing skill. Now, my dear children, in this slide you can see the difference between informal letter and formal letter. Now, what is this informal letter? A letter written in a friendly manner to someone you are acquainted with, to whom you know, to those who are very close to you. You have intimate relationship with those person. It may be your parent, father, mother, friends, anyone. So when we write letter to these people like your friend, your father, mother, etc. is called informal letters, whereas a formal letter is a letter written in a formal language in the stipulated format for official purpose. Stipulated format as well as formal language is used in case of formal letter. Now, what kind of language is then used in informal letter? My dear children, it is casual, relaxed, and ordinary language. It means you can use chit-chat language also in case of informal letter. Whereas in case of formal letter, it is prohibited. We cannot use chit-chat language or colloquial language in case of formal letter. They are addressed to authorities, editor, mayor, police, and officers of importance, so on. Now, in case of informal letter, we can use contraction forms like didn't. You can see the use of apostrophe over here. Haven't. You can again see the use of apostrophe over here. But In case of formal letter, we cannot use contraction form. Just see over here, did not, have not. My dear children, these are very important points which you must keep in your mind. Now moving on to the next difference. Idioms can be used in case of informal letter. Few examples I have given you here. Under the weather, thrilled to bits, over the moon. But in case of formal letter, no idioms are used. Okay, because it is a formal letter. It must be written in formal language. Here we cannot use casual language or ordinary language to write formal letter. Fine. Now phrasal verbs. We can use phrasal verbs in case of informal letter. Now you can see how are these phrasal verbs formed. Find plus out, that is verb plus preposition. Go up, verb plus preposition. So this is how phrasal verbs are formed. So phrasal verbs can be used in case of informal letter, but we cannot use phrasal verb. Instead of that, we can use uncommon words. We can replace phrasal verbs by using uncommon words. Like for find out, you can use discover. Isn't it formal? Yes. Go up, increase, enhance. The prices are increasing. Isn't it? The price of commodity has increased. Fine. So we can replace these phrasal verbs by unusual, or you can say uncommon words in case of formal letters. Now, very, really, totally are the words that can be used in case of informal letters. Okay, he's very sick. I'm really sorry. But then in case of formal letter, it is replaced by strongly. I strongly advise you to complete your task. Understood? I hope it is clear to you. Now, few connectors can be used in case of informal, but it cannot be used in case of formal. Like to top it all off, on top of it all. So these are the connectors that connect the ideas. So to top it all off, on top of it all, these are your informal. Okay, informal connectors can be used informally in case of informal letter. Okay, so top it all off. I have taken salad in my dinner. Okay, now, but in case of formal letter, we use furthermore, moreover, which has meaning also and on. Moreover, I did not like that actress. Fine, I hope it is clear. Now, in case of informal letter, we can use abbreviations. Abbreviations can be used in case of informal letter like TV. But in case of formal letter, it's television. It's television. So please keep these points in your mind. Let's move on to our next slide. Now, in case of informal letter, as I told you, the communication is very ordinary, very casual. It means we are relaxed. Okay, we are free to present ourselves there. But in case of formal letter, it's quite professional. Okay, so and it must be informative and without personal reference. Fine. Now, in case of informal letter, imperatives are used. Send it soon. And imperatives, my dear children, are mostly used by parents, undoubtedly, and teachers. Shut the door. Okay, so it begins with verb. Fine. And then again, they are very strong way of saying something. So imperatives in case of formal letters are not used. You cannot say your boss to shut down the door. No, you cannot. isn't it? You cannot command. So it must be very polite way of expressing yourself. So no imperatives are used in case of formal letter. I hope this point is very clear. So you can just see the example. You may, modals, right? Modals. Okay, so you may send it at your earliest convenience. So this is actually very polite sentence, very polite way of saying something. Okay, so my dear children, remember imperatives can be used in case of informal, since you are writing a letter to your friend, to whom you know, isn't it, to your relatives. But then you cannot use imperatives while writing to higher authorities, okay, of a person of great importance, etc. Now simple sentences are used in case of informal. As I told you, colloquial language or chit-chat language can be used in case of informal letter, whereas sentences in case of formal letters are longer and complex. Okay, now exclamation mark, you can use these punctuations in case of informal letter. Exclamation mark, as you know, it expresses surprise or shock. You cannot use this in case of formal letter. A lot of can be replaced by much many. Please, it's very good. Keep these points in your mind. Fine, it's very good. Now common words. Common words can be used in informal letter. Example, smart, but it can be replaced by uncommon words in case of formal letter. Intelligent, okay, intelligent. And I have given you the list of common and uncommon words that can be used in case of informal letter and formal letter at the end of this video. So let's move on to our next slide. Now my dear children, as you all keep on asking, like where you must leave a line, how you must start a paragraph while you write a letter. So today I'm going to clear all your doubts. You can just see that there's a difference between British and American form of writing. Okay, so towards the left you have British format, okay, way of writing or presenting a paragraph, and towards the right you have American way of writing a paragraph, presenting yourselves, presenting the paragraphs that you write while writing a letter. Okay, so here lies the basic difference. When you start writing a letter, okay, since we follow British format of writing, so we are going to focus on this. Okay, but you must know the difference as well. Okay, so what you can see over here is we have dropped a margin. My dear children, we have dropped a margin. Suppose this is a sentence. Okay, this is a sentence. Here we have dropped a margin. Fine, and then we have begun with a paragraph. So 1, 2, 3, we have completed the paragraph 1, and then again we have dropped a margin. So there's a difference between dropping a margin and dropping a line. We drop a line, okay, in case of American writing, okay, American way of writing, you can see over here. But in case of British writing, since we follow British English, we are going to drop a margin. We are not going to drop a line. Again, I'm repeating, there's a difference between dropping a line and dropping a margin. So you can just see, I have given you an example also over here, how you are going to start with the body of the letter. So you are going to drop a margin. Okay, you are going to leave a gap over there, and then you are going to start. And after the completion of the first paragraph, you are not going to drop a line. You are going to drop a margin, and then you are going to start the second paragraph. You are going to do the same thing for the third paragraph as well. Okay, so again you are going to drop a margin, and then you are going to start a third paragraph. You can just see over here, I have dropped a margin. And then thanks for your letter with your praises of cricket as the finest game in the world. I do not want to dispute that, but it is not my favorite. Full stop. Again, I have dropped a margin, not a line. So that will be in continuation, but with what? With dropping of the margin. This is how you are going to divide your paragraph. Okay, so I have given you American way of writing also, so that you can at least know the difference. Okay, and don't commit mistake, my dear children, when you present the body of the letter. This is the basic questions which you all ask your teachers. Okay, and that's why I have dealt with that here in this video. Again, you can see, as I told you, towards the right you can see the American form of writing. Suppose this is paragraph 1. Okay, you can see that we have covered the entire line. Okay, and then the line is dropped. Again the second paragraph, again the line is dropped. It means, in simple words, you are going to leave the line. Okay, but then since we don't follow this format, okay, American way of writing, we follow British way of writing, so you are going to fix yourself to this. Okay, you are going to leave margin, you are not going to drop margin. Okay, you can see the body, you can see the content of the letter. Okay, a margin is dropped over here. So this is what I wanted you all to know. This is the basic difference. Before also we have studied few differences between informal and formal letter, like use of contraction, then idioms, and then uncommon, common word. All these things you must keep in mind, and this comes with practice. So practice, keep on practicing the things. Okay, and that will definitely lead you to better way of writing. Okay, and finally you will be able to write well. But these are the basic things that you must keep in mind. Fine, let's move on to our next slide. Now, this is the format for informal letter. How do you start an informal letter? Before explaining you the format and the body, the content of the letter, I would like you to go through the slide. You can just see over here, I have left a bit of space. Everything is written on left hand side. Okay, but indentation, you know what is this indentation? Indentation means to leave line. Okay, to leave line, to leave space before you start writing. So everything on the extreme left. So first is your sender's address. How do you write? You are going to write your house number. If you have a street number, you're going to mention that also. Then where your house is situated, in which sector. So sector 45. Where is this sector situated, in which city? So this is how you write, you know, how you write your address. Okay, so don't write your address in haphazard way. Okay, first you mention your street number if you have any, or start with house number. Then where is this house situated? It is situated in sector 45, and then in which city? City Chandigarh, postal code. Okay, now after that you leave a line. Okay, a line must be left. You leave a line and then start with date. See, my dear children, I have given you three ways of writing dates. Okay, and I've just put a tick mark over here. You must follow these 3 ways of writing date. Okay, do not follow this. I'll tell you why. You can see in the note which I have given you over here what I have written here. What have I written over here? I have written to a British person. It means, okay, this means the 4th of June. Okay, so this means, for us it means 4th of June, but when you write in this way, for American it means the 6th of April, just the vice versa. Okay, the 6th of April, Americans put the month before the day. So in order to avoid any sort of confusion when you write, this is actually the format prescribed by CBSE. This is the format which we are going to follow. So you can adopt either of the ways to write the date. Fine, I hope it is clear to you. So to avoid any confusion, we will follow the patterns which are marked correct. So these 3 patterns are given. You can follow any one, whichever you like to write the date. Now, leave a line, give a salutation. What is this salutation? This is called greeting. And how do you write this? I have just mentioned it over here. You can use, I'm talking about informal letter, that you must keep in mind. Okay. Now, dear father or mother, dear brother, dearest sister, dearest Edward, my dear Abdul, etc. But if you are writing to an ordinary friend who is much older than you are or of superior rank, And if he is your friend, it is respectful to use a prefix like Mr., Mrs., Miss, Shri, etc. Example, Dear Mr. Krishna Rao. Okay, so these are the ways of writing, salutation in case of informal letter. Please do not commit mistake and follow the instructions given. My dear children, entire process or the format is written on extreme left of. You leave a line that is called indentation. Suppose this is, the page of your copy. Okay, this is the page of your copy. So you can just see that I have left a space over here. Okay, I have left a space and then I've started writing address, sender's address. Senders means the person who is writing this letter. So suppose if you are writing this letter, you are the sender over here. Fine, and I've taught you how to write the address. Please do not commit mistake while writing your address. You should know how to write your address. Okay, that is very important, my dear children. Next, date. I have explained you that you can follow all the three. That is, out of these three, can follow anyone, but do not write this because this is extremely wrong. Okay, completely wrong. Okay, now salutation. How is salutation written? Salutation, as I told you, it means greeting. And how do you start writing? Okay, so dear father, mother, dear brother, in whatever way, whichever way you want to write, you can just begin the letter with this. Now, first paragraph, the body. Okay, first paragraph, introduction paragraph. Intro, what you call introductory paragraph. So what you are going to do is you are going to be friendly. Okay, you are going to use an icebreaker. Means you can use simple sentences, and I'll teach you how. I have given you a few lines, lines how you can open the sentences, how you can begin with the body, what you can include in the intro, what you can include in the middle paragraph, isn't it, second paragraph, and what you can include in the third paragraph, that is a concluding paragraph. Okay, so you'll get answer to each and every question. Fine. Now, second paragraph, the first 3 points will act as a pointer for what? For second paragraph. And second paragraph must be in coherence with the first paragraph. Okay, must not deviate from your point or topic. So you are going to answer a question, request, okay, asking for something, offering advice, etc. Fine. Now let's move on to our next slide. Now here in this case, in case of third paragraph, close. Now how you're going to close this? Close with a call to action, offer or clear ending. Like how you can close this? I look forward to see you again. Let me know if you need anything. Call me when you get into town. I cannot see you, etc. And then leave a line. Okay, after that you have subscription. Okay, how do you end your letter? Okay, so what you're going to write in subscription? Yours affectionately, your affectionate, or loving, your loving son, your affectionate son, your loving brother, yours affectionately, yours lovingly. Please, my dear children, do not use apostrophe in yours. Okay, do not use apostrophe s over here. That is absolutely wrong. Okay, so that is absolutely wrong. That is old format. We never use apostrophe over here. Okay, yours is written without apostrophe. So must keep this point in your mind. Now, the first word of the subscription must begin with a capital letter. Fine. So you can just see yours, Y, and A, small. So these are the things which you must keep in your mind while writing informal letter. Hope it is clear to you all. Now, as I told you that I have provided you with the lines, opening lines, and then lines for middle paragraph, and the third paragraph, that is a concluding paragraph. And this is definitely going to help you. And as per the situation, you are going to use it. Thanks for your letter. Lovely to hear from you. I'm sorry to hear, learn. My dear children, please do not use the same old or hackneyed process or way of writing the letter, informal letter. How are you? How do you do? Okay, so all these ways have become old. Try to adopt okay, or try to use some other way. Use simple sentences to be, as I told you, icebreakers, okay. And that's the reason I have provided you with these statements and sentence, okay. So just see what is the purpose of the letter. Why are you writing that letter? Suppose you have missed your grandfather's birthday, so in that way you can begin your first paragraph with congratulations, okay. Congratulations. Just wish. You see the idea that is provided to you in the question, and then you begin with the letter. Please do not use, definitely you can use questions, sentence, interrogatives, okay, but then again it's better to be creative and follow some other way out, okay. Now second paragraph also I have given you the ways, and the concluding paragraph, how you can conclude the paragraph. Hope it is clear to you and you go through it, okay. And I have provided you with the question as an assignment. You're going to do that. So, an English speaking friend is visiting your region for a couple of weeks during his holidays and has written you to ask for travel recommendations. Write a letter to your friend. And what you are going to include? What points you are going to include in that? In your letter, offer to help find recommendation. That is paragraph 1. Give advice about things to do. Body 2. Okay. Provide information about what clothes to bring. So paragraph 3. This second paragraph can be divided into 2 sub-paragraphs. Fine. So you are going to do this as an home assignment. Now, formal letter. The basic differences are very clear to you now, isn't it? Now we are going to start with formal letter. As you can see, the same indentation has been maintained over here. Okay, you are going to start with sender's address, that is your address, and I have taught you how to write your address. Fine, and there must be no confusion now. Now date, the same format you are going to follow. Okay, receiver's address, you can just see the editor to whom you are writing the letter. Okay, that's called, there you are going to mention receiver's address, okay, to whom you are writing the letter. Suppose you are writing the letter to the editor, so the editor, name of the newspaper, and city you are going to mention. That should be written in an aligned manner. My dear children, writing is just simply not the way as you feel you can write, but it should be presented very beautifully. That fetches you marks in your examination. Definitely it should be presented very beautifully in a beautiful handwriting, neat and clean work. So format does matter, my dear children, so must follow the format. Now salutation, sir, madam, or dear sir. This is the polite way of addressing someone. So sir, madam, dear sir, madam. Note, if not sure about gender always, write sir, no issues. Okay, no issues, simply write sir. Fine. Now subject, mention the problem in 6 to 8 words. It should be short. Please do not copy the entire things from the question word. See the main points over there. It should be very short. See, sometimes it happens that when your letter reaches, okay, or an editor gets your letter, okay, he may not have time to go through the entire paragraphs and see the entire thing. So how is going to grasp the things? He will see the subject. Okay, so it should be short. Fine. It must be written in 6 to 8 words. Now let's come to the body of the letter. Again, first paragraph, introduction. Introduce yourself and the problem briefly in the first paragraph. Second paragraph, main content. It can be again divided into 2 sub paragraphs. That is the causes and effects of the problem. And then the third paragraph, conclusion. Here you are going to provide suggestions for solving the problem. I have given you the sample question for this, okay, and I have also given you a question for homework, okay. So you are going to do that in your copy. At last, leave a line, write down thanking you. See, when you write sender's address, after writing that, write down the date, okay. After that, receiver's address. Remember, my dear children, date separates both the addresses. Okay, so no need to leave the line. Then after receiver's address, you must leave a line, give a salutation, okay, then leave a line, write down the subject, which should be very concise and short. Okay, now after that you can begin with the body of the letter. Fine, and I've taught you how to present the body and what must be presented in the body. So now it should be very clear to you. No confusion must be there. After that, leave a line, write down thanking you. Okay, yours faithfully. As you can see, no apostrophe. Please do not commit this mistake again and again. Here where you commit mistake, please children, just see this, follow the format strictly. Okay, so yours faithfully, F must be small, Y must be in capital. Okay, sincerely, truly, or sincerely yours, truly yours, in whatever way you want to end your letter, in whatever way you want to write the subscription. I have provided you with that. And at last you are going to write the name. And what note I have given you over here, you can just see, when name is not mentioned in the question, always write XYZ or AWC. Please do not write your name. Fine, I hope these points are clear to you. Now you can just see, I have given you the sample question over here. House number, address. Okay, so this is your address. This is the center's address. House number 123, sector 45, Chandigarh. And then you can mention over here postal code also if you want. Then again, leave a line. Or as I told you that since there's a date between the sender's address and the receiver's address, so even if you don't leave a line, that does not matter. Okay, so 27 October 2014. Then the editor, The Telegraph. Again, a request to all of you, dear children, when you write a letter, The Telegraph, it's a piece of advice to all of you, with the newspapers. Okay, please use the definite article is used with the names of the newspapers. Do that, dear children. Do not simply write Telegraph. Write down The Telegraph, The Hindustan Times. Fine. And then write down the name of the city, Chandigarh. Fine. Leave a line, sir, if it is not clear to you. Okay, whether the person is masculine or feminine gender. Okay, so in that case, sir. Subject. Fine. And sometimes you have a confusion, madam, which punctuation mark? So you can just see the punctuation mark, the colon sign which I have used after subject. So that has to be kept in mind. These are the small but basic things which you must all know while writing letters. So as I told you, the subject must be very concise, very short, irregular and inadequate bus service. And underline that. Fine. Then again, begin. We are going to follow the British format or way of writing. So how do we begin? We are going to drop a margin, my dear children. Drop a margin. Okay, introduce yourself, and then again just write down the purpose of letter in brief. It should be very brief and specific. Formal letters must be formal in language. Okay, you cannot use chit-chat language over here while writing this letter. It should be very formally written. Fine. So you can just see, I am Varsha, a resident of sector 45, Chandigarh. Through the column of your prestigious newspaper, I wish to draw attention of the transport authorities towards the hardships that the residents of sector 45 have been experiencing on account of the adequate bus service. Fine. Then again you change a paragraph. Okay, since you have to elaborate those points, cause and effects, right? So every morning a large number of people take bus at the main bus stop of this area to reach their workplace. Besides, there are large number of students who travel on buses to reach their respective schools and colleges, but the existing bus service is far from meeting the requirements of the public. Clear? So, causes. Fine. So, due to inadequate bus service, what problems people and students they do have to face? You can, as I told you, divide the second paragraph into two sub-paragraphs. Cause and effect. So you can write and complete the formal letter in 3 to 5 paragraphs. Fine, but it should be brief, it should be to the point and very specific. No chit-chat language, no common language, and punctuation mark must be taken care of. As I told you, no exclamation mark. Okay, in case of formal letter, no contraction forms in case of formal letter. Now Most of the buses this touch the spot are packed with passengers from other areas by the time they reach sector 45 bus stop, so they can accommodate very few passengers at this stop. The situation is worse at peak hours when most of the buses do not effect, isn't it? So introduction, introduce yourself, and then again brief about the problem. Then second paragraph, causes, and now it's the effect. The situation is worse at peak hours when most of the buses do not even stop here, and as a result people reach late at their design places. The authorities are requested to introduce a new bus services to start from this area, as it would be huge help for the public. Now change a paragraph. Okay, you're going to conclude it. It should be very polite. You cannot use imperatives, my dear children, as I told you. Okay, you cannot command them. So very politely, I hope you will publish my letter in your STEAM newspaper and bring the serious problem to the authorities' attention. Just leave a line thanking you. Yours faithfully, Varsha. I hope you have understood the way of writing the letters. I have provided you with the tips and tricks of writing both informal and formal letters. Now, I have provided you with few opening lines for formal letter, how you can open your letter, how you can close it. Fine. Now, list of informal and formal words which you can use in case of informal letters while writing informal letters, and formal words. Like here, you can, as I told you, can be very casual. You can write, informal letter in a very relaxed way. Hi, Robert. But in case of formal words, it's dear sir or madam. Okay, so these are the things which you must go through and keep these points in your mind while writing letters. I hope it is clear to you all. Now I provided you with a question over here. Okay, you recently went on holiday with your family to an island resort. Upon your return to home, you discovered that you had forgotten a very valuable item there. Write a letter to the hotel manager informing her of your problem. In this letter, what you're going to do, describe the item. Number 1, say why is it important that you get the item back. Okay, tell the manager what would you like him or her to do. So I would like you to. So be very humble, be very polite, and definitely the person is going to reply you. Fine. Thank you, children. Hope the things are quite clear to you, and whatever things I have provided you, go through it, and then please do the questions in your English copy. I'll be back with my next video. Thank you.